All right.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 12. And the only thing I could think of
We
that
made it
rhymes
this
with
far
12.
already. Woo!
Yes. And so,
Delve. Delve.
delve.
Yeah. Oh, you already have it. Yep.
Yeah. Here we delve. Episode 12. That's all we got. Or
Yep.
episode 12, be an elf. That doesn't work.
Oh, that's a
Mm-mm.
good one. I'm like elf. Yeah.
It doesn't work because elf, you can't say elf because the singular of elves is elf.
Yep.
So
Oh,
that doesn't
shelves.
work.
We could. They can shelves the knowledge that we provide.
Oh, yeah. Here, episode 12. Here come the shells.
Yeah. Or you can shelve episode 12.
Shelve
And on that
episode
note, I'm
12.
done with that was the best of my creativity for this morning.
Shelve episode 12, meaning down your
In a good
mental
way.
gullet.
Save it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
down your mental gullet. That's what we're going to go with. That was a weird analogy, but here we are.
I like
But
it.
right before we start, really quick, Sam and I just want to say our thoughts, our prayers, our everything go out to the people in the Palisades right now. I know that it was a lot of devastation going on there. And I know there's devastation everywhere, but it just seems
I
different
can't even
with this.
imagine.
Yeah, like California always has fires, but this one seems even more like each one seems to get worse than one before. And I just hope and pray that everyone gets to safety. And please put your safety first, people. The you can replace stuff. Stuff is replaceable, but you're not.
Yes.
So yeah,
Nope, and your family's not, and people who love you aren't. So, we just keeping all of you
exactly.
in our thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, definitely. And if if you're experiencing anything in your neck of the woods, even if it's not California, wherever you may be, we are sending all of the positive vibes in the universe your way and hoping that everything turns out in your favor. So yeah, maybe you needed to hear that today. So we're just gonna put that out there.
Yes.
All right. On that note, and switching gears, so we've got a jam-packed episode for you today, which is kind of surprising because we just finalized it moments ago.
Yeah. Flying by the seat of our pants, so to speak.
That's just how we roll, and the best things happen, I think, when they happen unexpectedly. That's what we're gonna go with. So yeah,
I think so, actually.
we've got some really good topics. We've even got a Burns My Biscuits segment for y'all, brought to you by Sam. So
Yes.
that's
So many things
very
burn my biscuits, but we'll just share one today.
exactly. So we've got that for you. We've got two pretty rich topics as well, but also a little, I feel like they're a little bit lighter than what we typically do. And not that our topics are heavy, but I feel that this is more kind of, especially if you're just starting out, this could be the episode for you. That's what we're going to go with.
Yes.
And of course, we have our handy dandy
Yeah, I
stuff. You
definitely
can,
think this is a fun. Yeah,
oh, that was fun.
nice. So if you hear a delay, that's my for some reason my Teams today has like a weird delay.
No, that's rude.
Yes,
Teams, get
very
it
rude.
together. Get it
Yeah,
together,
so
teams.
if there's an awkward silence, that's just me.
Not just you just being your usual awkward self, it could be like extra layer of that,
It's
is
extra
what you're
awkward.
saying.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Understood. So, yeah, I had a thought and escape. Oh, yes, we also have stuff you can use segment that is also happening. So, whoop whoop, we're going to give you a resource that you can put in your back pocket. I was gonna say stuff in your pipe and smoke it, but that sounded not right.
No, I
So
like yeah, I like back pocket.
I think that's less aggressive. So let's go with that.
Oh, there goes my there's my Teams again. Sorry.
Oh, you're totally fine.
This will be fun today. It'll be like random surprises for you. Where'd Sam go? It's like, where's Waldo?
Exactly. Where's Sam? There she is. So, Sam, as also one of the things that well, I love to do, and I hope you guys love it too, is Sam Surprise,
Oh, okay. Yay.
where I surprise Sam with our current numbers from the last time we were here, which was just last week, Sunday. Seems like so long ago, and it wasn't
Doesn't
that
it
long
though?
ago. It was, it was just a week ago. But we were there and now we're here. And today we are going to see where our numbers are. Where are our numbers? And Sam will be hopefully delightfully surprised. So
Oh,
last
right. Bring
week,
it
I
on.
think, and keep me honest, Sam, because I'm going from the top of my brain. I think last week we were at 327, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
actually, I wrote it down. Yep.
Woohoo! Nice. Nailed it. So today, as of this very moment, we are, drum roll please. We're gonna have to install a drum roll at some point.
Wait, I'll do it. Hold on. Hold on. I just scared like everyone in the house. Okay.
So yes. So we are, as of this moment, at 304. 344. We added 17 new subs. Whoop whoop.
Yay! That's
So
amazing.
it is. And guys,
Even one more is super exciting, but 17 is like very, very good.
exactly. And so thank you so much and welcome to our new subscribers. The water
Yes.
here is pretty fun, pretty warm. It stays warm all year long. Yeah,
Yes.
that's how we get down. And obviously
Please
not
join
drinking water.
us.
Nobody likes warm drinking water. At least I don't.
Ugh. Oh.
But
Oh, and
the
then
one,
if you wear Crocs,
yes,
that's our favorite thing,
it
funnily
is.
enough. So, put on your Crocs and sit back too.
Props are welcome. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, they're actually pretty symbolic around these parts, and we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about that at a later time. But yeah, if you rock some Crocs, here you're welcome. You're in great company. Um,
Mm-hmm.
our last episode, episode 11, is at 583 views, 27 likes. So go us.
Wow.
And episode
That's
10
pretty
is
good in a week. Wow.
It's amazing. Yeah. And episode 10 is at 1,300 views and 49 likes.
Holy shit.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
holy shiitake mushrooms. Sorry. I'm joking.
Holy shit is appropriate. I like holy shit
Okay, thank
instead.
you.
Safe space.
Safe space. That's right.
So, this is amazing. And we owe it all to you because, as we like to say, there is no us without you. hmm Yeah, we're cheesy that way. So thank you so much, guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for coming back. We sincerely appreciate all of your support. So thank you, thank you,
Oh, very
thank
much so.
you. So with that said,
Thank you.
let us commence. Sam, where will we go today to start our journey?
Okay. Well, the topics are the first freelance job that you had, and or we had, but
hmm
then, think about the first freelance jobs you had and nightmare clients, the worst clients that we've worked for. Yeah, I have a list of those. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Maybe start with the first freelance job, you think?
yeah, I think so. Let's go with like light, airy, and then we'll move into the. Ugh.
Okay.
I think you should take it away. So, Sam,
Um, you want me to
take us
go or are
down
you
memory.
going?
Yes, you go. Take us down
Oh,
memory
okay.
lane.
Memory lane. Okay, so my first freelance experience, which ended up being a 20-year long gig, was to write 30 to 40 word annotations advertising new book releases. So it's
Nice.
kind of like reminiscent of the blurbs that you see in Amazon describing books, except these annotations were in, at that time, magazines, actual printed magazines that
Very
went
cool.
to libraries, schools, universities for them to buy books based, if they were interested based on the description. And it was also awesome because you would get like free books from publishers. And, I loved it. And it started because I unexpectedly lost my job. Like the company just went out of business just like that.
That's nice.
And being that the editor was like of their magazine was considered non-essential, I was the first to
Yes.
go. So I went to the place I used to, because I used to work for them free permanently, and I just for some reason just drove there because I knew that if I went home and didn't find something that I would wallow.
Yeah.
So I drove there and they kind of took me in and embraced me, so to speak, and gave me a special freelance job right there, which was my second
Nice.
job, real quick, that relates, is going into actual novels that were being published and cleaning them up, like cleaning
Nice.
up marks and stuff. So, like, if there were little spots here and there, I would clean them up using the Xerox software. So they let me come in the office, and then that's when I started doing the annos more like on a full-time freelance basis. So
Nice.
because of that, I was loyal to them for over 20 years. I just, things got a little crazy. So this year, excuse me, last year I stopped, but I ended up giving them two people to replace me. But I still freelance for them designing ads.
Nice. Yeah,
But
that's
there's a representation of not burning bridges when you actually leave a job, because I had
yep.
left that job to pursue another avenue and, kept in touch with everyone, which really, really helped. And I'm forever grateful to them.
That is amazing. So yeah, that not burning bridges is pretty important. And I love how full circle that this is, because you also talked about something else we talk about a lot, which is the power of your network. And
Yes.
although you're no longer doing the role, you actually parlayed it to two other individuals that you trusted, and their reputation was, to your level. And so you recommended them for the opportunity
Oh, and
rather
just
than
real
just,
quick.
yeah.
Oh, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like
No,
yelling
you're
from the
fine.
other part because I had to open the door again for the dog. Because of this job, someone asked one of the people that I supported if they knew of anyone that was editing and proofreading, and that's how I started that. It started with word of mouth from there. Like I helped with a
Nice.
couple journals, and then it burgeoned from there. But also during this time, September 11th happened. So the
Oh,
job
wow.
market super crashed. So I was
Yep.
even more grateful
Yeah, definitely.
to have the opportunity to keep my family afloat.
Yeah, I think that right there, and we do talk about this a lot, and that's because it just, nothing beats the power of word of mouth. It really just doesn't. And even in this day and age where we're all about technology, and we probably sound like old farts talking about, the TikTok and the YouTube and so on. Although we do use both, to be very honest. But what I'm saying is that having word of mouth is always going to be of greater value than whatever you can do
Yes.
online. It just is, because the
Yep.
person trusts that. If they trust you and you're doing the recommendation, then that's going to go a really long way to helping someone else get their foot in the door. We've seen it time and
Yep.
again. We still see it happen today. So do not underestimate the power of word of mouth. Do not do not take your network for granted. Like, seriously, do not take your network for granted, because that's where you're going to get
No.
those recommendations, those referrals. It's super important to just keep that network warm, really. Like, keep in touch. Yeah. My two
Yes.
cents on that one.
And I
Hmm.
But I just one thing, if I could say too, it's like
Yeah.
just make sure this happened to me, and I always will feel guilty about it. I had lost contact with someone, and then when I lost my job, I reached out, and she's like, "You only contact me if you need something," and I felt horrible because you get so busy
Yeah.
that. And I had met, when I was in touch with her and doing work for her, which was a journal. We met for lunch a couple times, but then things just got crazy, and for some reason, and it's my fault. Like sometimes I just forget things, and
Yeah.
I reached out to her, and I felt horrible. She just made me feel horrible, and then I realized, it was true. Like I reached out to her because I needed something, and I, always regret that. But
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. Just if just maintain your relationships so that that doesn't happen, or no one thinks that.
That's a really good point Sam, that you bring up. And it doesn't have to be that, it's not about checking off a box, but at the end of the day, your network is a human network. That means they're people, and that means that they have, thoughts and feelings and concerns just like you do. And how would you feel if the only time you hear from certain people is when they need something? I have certain people like that in
Yeah.
my circle, and it definitely bothers me, but I just kind of brush it off. But don't be that person that and it's funny because certain people, when they reach out, and I'll tell my husband about it, his first question is, what do they want? Like, what do they need?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, well, damn, if your partner or spouse is like, well, already knowing that the only reason they reach out is because they need something, that not a good look, guys. Just not a
No,
good look, so
no. And it's also it brings you down too, 'cause it's like thanks. Like
yeah,
you get excited, like, oh hey, I haven't heard from you in a while, this is great. And then it turns out to be that. So that's why to Nicole's point, it's so important. And then I realized that I did that to someone and lesson learned.
yeah,
Like I yeah.
it doesn't feel good. Don't use people is what we're saying. In short, don't use people.
Yeah,
Yes, you can tap into your network, but you shouldn't be tapping into your network only when you need something. You can also keep in touch with your network, stay connected. And honestly, I feel like in this day and age of LinkedIn, I don't feel like there's any excuse to not stay connected with your professional network, because literally almost everyone is on LinkedIn. Maybe like a small percentage of the population isn't, that is working traditional, quote unquote, white collar and even beyond. So there's really no reason why you can't just send a quick ping, even if it's just around the holidays or
exactly.
special events, and just say, hey, thinking about you, hope you're doing well. I do that. And that there's nothing wrong with that. So, but just don't make, and also don't do this other thing, which I've seen, where people ramp up towards asking you something, like you haven't heard from them in years,
Oh yeah,
and
yep.
and then they do the creeper thing where they start off like randomly out of nowhere, hey girl, how you doing? And and then you're excited to hear from them. There's this exchange, and then like they wait like three or four conversations or exchanges later, and then here it comes, and then you're like, oh man,
Shaboom. Yeah.
don't do that. That's
Mm-mm.
also not cool.
It's a
Yeah,
no
just
no.
don't. Yeah, I wanted to say something else, but I think I'll save that. That might be my chaps my hide segment, but I'll do that at another time.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it. You know exactly what I'm talking about, but
Yes.
something along, yeah. So I'm just gonna leave it there. That may or may not make it into my chaps my hide segment, because it's a very specific instance that if this individual were to potentially come across this episode, they would know it's them. So I may
Yeah.
leave it alone, but it definitely chapped my head, and I may
It
talk
chopped
about
my
it.
head when I heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of gross. So anyway, story for another day, folks. It will not be today's story time. Today we have Burns My Biscuits, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it, if I do say so myself. So yeah.
Yes.
On that note, I guess I will share my
Your
first
turn.
freelance, yeah, my first freelance job that I ever had. So I started my foray into editing. It was a dark and stormy night.
Yeah.
No, I was editing for the writing center of my college, which I have said more than once. But so one of the students that I was helping, who actually also happened to be my coworker, but anyway, neither here nor there, but she was like, "Oh my God, Nicole, you're so good. Why don't you do this for a living?" Because she went from very borderline probation to acing her class, because I was helping her with her papers and getting just survive through English class, because English was not her first language. And I thought to myself, in fact, I should do that. And so I went online, and this was back in the 90s, to be clear. And so they didn't have as many job boards back then, but there was this one job board that I found, and I wish I could remember the name because it's no longer in existence. I think it evolved into something else, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't even remember what the something else is or what it was. Or it is basically a job board for authors primarily to be matched with proofreaders and editors. So my very first freelance job was as editing a book, and it was for an author who
That
was
is
wanting
so
to get
cool.
published, and I edited their book. And back then, the way that I got clients, and that's how I landed my first one, is that I would send them, I would apply for the job with a cover letter, and I would say, I'm so confident in my word that whatever your lowest bid is, I will beat it by 5%. And that actually was a hook
Nice.
that really pulled people in. And so, yeah, they had to show me proof, of course. But I ended up getting a lot of clients that way through that job board. And I did that pretty regularly for the first year. I was working just directly with clients who wanted to get published, either through a mainstream publisher or to self publish. And I edited book manuscripts directly from there, my little virtual shingle. And that's how I got my start before and that's how I was able to then be confident enough to apply for the internship at the local publisher because I had already edited all these books ahead of seeing the posting on Craigslist. Like I told y'all before, Craigslist is an underrated resource. Just gonna do a little quick shameless plug. So that is how I got my start into
That
freelancing. And the rest, as they say, is history. Mm-hmm. Yep.
is so, oh, excuse me, I hiccuped. That is so cool. I never even thought about reducing price for competitiveness. That's awesome.
Yeah, and back then it was, I will say that I I think maybe it wasn't as competitive, or maybe it's because there weren't that many job boards out there. So just doing that actually, because you see that before, like you see that on commercials where you have like this local like mom and pop or like this pub plumber that's like, we're so confident in our service, we're willing to like give us your best deal,
Oh, I
we'll
love
beat
it.
it. And I literally took that and I ran with it. And I landed so many clients as a result because I was literally no one could beat my rate because no matter what the rate was, I was always willing to go 5% below that. And to get my start, it was great because then I started building my portfolio that way.
That is awesome. I mean, the only thing I've ever done like similar to that is if it's like a repeat client, I haven't
Mhm.
like heard from for a bit and then they return, like I'll reduce the hourly rate, just like kind of I call it like my
Nice.
friends and family rate.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like so many cool ways that you can really do a just make sure that you're being competitive against, because the competition now especially is so much fiercer, especially because now there's a lot more outsourcing overseas and the exchange rate is bananas, so it's hard to compete with that. So if you find ways to
Yeah.
stay competitive without shorting yourself, yeah, absolutely. Like after a certain number, there's something else I would do from time to time is for my long-term clients, like after a certain number of pages, you get the next job free, that type of thing. I worked with a couple of clients that would send me articles to proofread before they went live. And so, since it was like a volume thing or a quantity thing, I would say after 10 articles, the 11th one is free or something like that. Almost like a Subway punch card, right? Is it Subway that does punch cards? I don't remember. I feel like
I
that's
don't know.
somebody does punch
Honestly,
cards.
yeah,
Maybe I'm misremembering, but
we
you
could,
get
yeah,
the point. You get the point, guys. Like you
works
take,
for me. Works for me.
yeah, exactly. So it was kind of one of those, like an editing punch card. So after certain number of jobs, within reason, of course, you don't want to just, because then you don't want to be stuck with a 500-page job that is free. So
Oh my
you
God, no.
obviously want to set a limit on whatever that free job is going to be. But anyway, it's just, a cool, fun gimmick to, keep your clients appreciated and keep them coming back. Hmm. Yes.
That is awesome. I didn't even think the free, you're amazing. I'm like,
Oh, thank you.
didn't even think of that. I like it.
Yes.
I like it a lot.
Oh, and maybe we can like, it won't be next episode because we've already got our topics for next episode. Whoop whoop. But maybe the episode after that, episode 14. Woo-hoo,
Whoa.
we can talk about, right? Isn't that crazy? We can talk about gimmicks or tactics that you can use to appreciate your clients and to get more clients. Hmm. Yeah,
Ooh,
let's
I
do that.
like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it down right now because I'll forget.
You and me both.
And I also remembered because I,
Nice.
I wrote down, I had like a little notepad that I jotted down the topics for next week. And I also had written down for episode 14 because something we had talked about but never actually did or circled back to was vanity presses or vanity publishers. We had talked about it like several episodes ago, and I wanted to dive into that a little bit more because, especially in this day and age, when more and more people want to publish their book or publish a book, I think it's really important to break down the difference between traditional publishing and vanity publishing. There is a difference, and you're going to want to know what that difference is. So, we're going to touch on that. Not this episode, though. So, you're going to have to come back. Hmm. That's how we keep you on the hook. That's how we do, but in the most adorable way.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Yes,
there you
we
go.
are adorable.
So with that said, since we've already talked about our first ever freelance job, let's go on the other opposite extreme and talk about the worst job we ever had. Take it away, Sam.
Mm, let me see. So,
Or one of. It doesn't have, I mean, like, because I know it's hard to rank sometimes, but yeah, it could be one of. It doesn't have to be the, but pretty close.
uh, there was a certain client that just expected me to be at their beck and call like all the time, and then just
Mm,
drop projects like I was supposed to remember that they asked me, but they didn't. And they would always ask me at the last minute in front of everyone in the company so
jeez.
that I couldn't really say no without looking bad. And there was one time they asked me to help out with a launch, and I was like, okay. And they assigned me overnight hours.
What?
And yeah, I had to work from, was it, I think midnight to 6 a.m. And that's how they entered it in the spreadsheet. So I was like stuck because everyone was like, yeah, because everyone had to sign up for slots or whatever. And someone put me in for that slot.
What the heck?
Yeah. So yeah, it was great. But I mean, I think that's besides some clients being like complete jerks and condescending, or like if not if you do something wrong, but it's kind of like you didn't know and they inform you, but inform you like you're supposed to know that and you're a
Yeah.
bad child. Like that kind of
Yeah.
being like scolded. Yeah.
Yeah. Nightmare clients are a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like I
very,
think of a specific one, but just I mean, I think the only really bad one was I was asked to do a scientific manuscript. And, just the guy argued with me the entire time my changes, because it wasn't grammatically correct or anything like that. But every change he made, I mean, excuse me, every change I made, he argued with me at every point. So once I was done with it, he had reached out again for me to work on another project. And I was like, no, thank you.
yeah, I don't blame you. Jeez. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah. So I've been thinking a lot about this, and a lot of them jump out at me, but I would say my nightmare client was oddly, it didn't start off that way. And so I had gotten this freelance opportunity through a coworker who actually recommended me for this role as a medical editor. And I was really excited, and I did do work with them. I did do work with them because I don't know why that sounded weird as I was saying it. I worked with them for
Sounded okay
I
to
want to.
me.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I think it's just I haven't had my coffee yet. Full disclosure. So I went on to work with them for at least 3 years. So it wasn't just like a one and done. But started off really great. The work was rewarding. The rate was very competitive. And eventually, I was asked to lead the medical editing team, which was awesome. And we were working on manuscripts, medical manuscripts that were published once per year in advance of their upcoming conference. So it was between one and two manuscripts that were compiled by multiple different authors. And remember that the last year that I worked with them, they flew me out to their location. I met with them. I was super excited because I thought, okay, this is gonna turn into something even bigger than what I thought. And it was really great, really fun experience. And then that same year, they brought someone else that had already worked there before, but she was supposed to be just quote unquote helping me. And we butted heads a lot. And at the time, I didn't realize that it was because she wanted to do what I was doing, but I was already doing it. And so we didn't, unfortunately, see eye to eye. And unbeknownst to me, because obviously at the time I wasn't in the office, I was virtual. So she used that as an opportunity to make a little campaign for herself. And so, long
Oh my
story
God.
short, yeah, long story short, and I'll never forget this. On my birthday, my husband and I were on a vacation at Myrtle Beach. And I remember this like it was yesterday. They called me and they had been calling me, but I didn't pick up. And I was like, okay, let me just go ahead because I usually like to do business on my birthday. So I went ahead and picked up, and they let me go on my birthday and said that they were going to bring their business internal, and they handed everything over to the chick who wanted my role, basically.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah,
That is so shitty.
yeah, but that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that a month or like not even a month, like a week or two before that, they scheduled a meeting with me, and they were so interested because I had all these plans. Like I had started working on their marketing strategy. Like I was really like expanding what I was doing and the offerings I was giving them. And so I started mapping out the like marketing strategy for this company, and they had me on a call, and I was breaking down all these things. They literally took everything that I was giving them and knowing they were going to let me go like in about a week or two. So they basically like pumped me for
So
information.
basically, they used you to get everything
Yep.
they
Yep.
could before. Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was so it was weird because I didn't react in the moment because it felt like I was so numb, and I was like, what? What just happened? And
Oh my God.
I waited to tell my husband because we were on vacation and I didn't want to ruin his vacation. And it was like a pretty significant source of income for us. It was our biggest client. And then it was going away. And when you're freelancing, there's no severance, guys.
Oh God,
There's
no.
no like, oh, we're gonna pay
Oh
you
yeah.
out.
If only.
No, it doesn't work that way. So the impact was pretty immediate. It was just turn in your last invoice and happy trails. And I was so disappointed. And so it became a nightmare, not because the client was necessarily a nightmare. The person working there certainly was, but it became a nightmare because of what they did. But funnily enough, because I remember like a few years later, I don't know why or how they came up on my timeline. And it turns out the same individuals that got rid of me were ousted. So I thought, well, karma certainly, maybe she took
Karma.
her time. but she sure came around. And it made me feel definitely vindicated because I remember that like a year after I left, someone had reached out to me because I had created a showcase page for them on LinkedIn. To be clear, I was doing not just editing. I wasn't just a president, I was also the client. I was doing so many other
Oh,
roles in there, and I had created a showcase page for them on LinkedIn. And I'm not going to say who this client is, guys, so don't worry about it. Or don't think that I am. It's not happening. And back then, when Facebook was in its heyday, I grew their number of their membership by over 70%. And so their Facebook explode, like all of these things were things that I was doing. I was managing their social media channels. And I remember about a year after I left, someone had reached out to me because they were having trouble figuring out how to access their showcase page. I'm like, ma'am, I don't work there anymore. That is no longer my business owner problem.
yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I
That
hope it
sounds like
works
a
out.
you problem. Yeah.
Right. And I was very polite about it, but I just let them know, I'm like, I no longer work there. I don't have access to what you're asking. I did respond, so I took the high road, but I just thought it was interesting that I had put all these systems in place and they didn't even have the wherewithal to keep them going. So, karma works that way, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. Never, never think you have to dole it out.
Nope. It always will come and collect. So, which is also a valuable lesson. Keep in mind if you're out there doing trifling stuff. Yeah, I'm looking at you guys. If you're doing some trifling stuff, cut it out.
Yeah. Don't do that.
No, don't do it.
Not
No,
nice.
not nice at all. It will come back to haunt you. So, yeah, that was my nightmare client, but not because like the work was in itself was great and I still have it on my portfolio. It has helped me land so many other opportunities because of how much I did and how like in depth the work was. So I'll always be grateful for the opportunity. I just hated how it was handled and how they exploited me because they wanted to, I guess, save some bucks. But it was never the same from what I saw because I still from time to time would like peek in and it made me feel better. If I'm being
So
honest.
you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, and but like in general, I think we can. I think you'll agree on this, Sam, is that we generally do have nightmare clients. Those don't go away, unfortunately. Sometimes you can spot them a little bit faster, and so just be on the lookout, and you'll start seeing some of those telltale signs if
Oh
they may be
yeah.
very demanding deadlines, unrealistic
It'll start out.
expectations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
Yeah, it'll start out not like a good, but once they get comfortable with you and everything, then they automatically, I don't know, like I think sometimes they think you're friends and then they can just treat you like crap
Yeah,
in a
definitely.
way. Does that
And
make sense?
yeah, like they're paying for to abuse you. And that doesn't give them
Yes,
money.
yeah.
Like just because they're paying you does not mean they get to treat you like crap. Mm-mm. No,
No.
not at all.
And they think like I think they think you're desperate so that you won't like leave or stand up for yourself or anything like that. But I hate
Yeah.
to, tell you that I'm not putting up with it.
Yeah, and you shouldn't either, guys, because the more you allow, the more they'll do. It's not a
Yep.
thing where there's a threshold or a limit, like, oh, okay, I've
Mm,
abused you enough, so I don't have to do anymore. No, they'll just keep going. It'll just get worse and worse. This is like a universal rule, to be honest, unfortunately.
yeah,
So yeah,
seriously.
people will do what you allow them to. That rhymed, so you know it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it kept going with the rhyming. Yeah.
I
That
really
was
did.
amazing.
Yeah, pretty
Look at
good. I
us.
didn't even need to. Look at me on a roll, being all Dr. Susie.
I was just gonna say Dr. Seuss. Jesus.
We're on the same wave. We're vibing today, as we do most
As
days,
usual, yeah. Because
as
I
per
was just about to
usual.
say we're Dr.
Hmm.
Seuss in it.
Yes, we are. Yeah, this might be a shorter episode than I thought it would be, but there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we go short. That's what she said.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, we have resources left though, and we have
We do.
burn my biscuits.
Oh,
So
that's right. Which one shall we go with first?
why don't do you want to break in with resources and then we can burn the biscuits as the last item?
Yeah, why not burn the biscuits at the end? And that feels like progressively that
Yes.
makes logical sense to me.
Yes.
So, yeah. I feel like if you're waiting on the biscuits and you're leaving them in the oven, that's when they burn. So,
Exactly. When you're like get distracted, which is pretty
yeah,
much the story of my life. So that's why I'm banned from a lot of kitchen appliances by my husband.
you're a danger to yourself and to others. You understand.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So, with that said, we want to bring to you today stuff you can use. And so, today's resource, actually, Sam, I think we were going to do this like last episode or the episode before, or I think this was the resource that we forgot about. And now I'm like, oh, wait, I remember what it was now. Guys, this is why we write things down. We forget
Yeah.
things all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time.
So today's resource is actually something that anyone in the blue collar space will appreciate. This particular resource is more geared towards all of our blue collar gig workers in our midst. Midst, let's go with it.
It's, yeah, no,
Mostly,
that
right?
yeah, we'll go with that. Yep, that's good.
So, yeah, the stuff you can use resource is TaskRabbit. So, if you're not
Oh,
aware, yeah, TaskRabbit is a really cool tool. I'm on a roll with the rhymes. It's a cool
yes, you
tool
are. We should have a
that,
book. Yeah.
right? So it is available in the App Store. And the way that it works is that it's an online marketplace that connects people with, they're called taskers. And these are individuals who have a particular set of skills. Anytime I get to use a Liam Neeson line, it thrills me to no end. I just want to say that for the record.
So great.
So, yes, these individuals have a particular set of skills that they feature and display on TaskRabbit. And it allows you as a customer to look for a person who has that said skill. And so, where does that come in for you? I'm glad you asked. So, what's really cool is that you can put up your virtual shingle on TaskRabbit. You can sign up to be a tasker. And the types of work that is available, really it's really up to your imagination within reason. So if you're really
I was
good
just
at
gonna say, wait a
assembling,
minute.
just to be clear, if you're really good at assembling furniture, yes, absolutely. If you are someone who for some reason that I'll never understand loves to move, that's your
Oh
place.
God, no.
Yes. Yeah. Or you
Mm-mm.
love to pack. If you have like this tried and true patented system for packing a place in the most efficient and organized way possible, yes, that is the place for you. Home repairs, if you're super handy and you can look at something and take it apart and put it back together and you don't have a bunch of tools or bunch of parts left over, yes, this is the place for you. Or if you are into cleaning for reasons I'll never understand, but if you
Mm.
like to clean, yes. If you
No.
if you like to do snow removal, if you want to start up a little snow removal business, this is just a great way to scale a business that you want to do that's on the more, in what I would call the gig economy, I believe would be the right term, where you have
Yep.
these skills with your hands that you want to make money from. TaskRabbit is a great place, and it is not just available in the US, which is also I thought was really cool.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
realize that.
yeah, I was actually curious, and so I looked it up before, just to make sure, because I didn't want to just pull something out of my tuckus. That would be awkward. And so I
My
wanted to
grandma used to
see.
say that all the time.
So I wanted to see where it's available. So as of today, because I'm looking at it right now, it is available obviously in the US, or maybe not obviously, but it is available in the US, and they actually list all of the cities that they're available in. So it doesn't seem like it's every single city, but it looks like it's all the major cities. And then in terms of other countries where it's available in Canada, Germany, Spain, France, UK, Italy, and Portugal. So
Wow.
that's pretty cool. That's like about roughly 7 to 8 cities, or well, countries, not cities. So that's
But I was
actually
with
pretty
you on
cool.
that. I was like, okay. Yeah.
I think, yeah, if you count the US, is a total of eight. So, yeah, if you are trying to start your housekeeping business, or if you want to help people get organized, some people really live for this stuff. And I feel like more power to you if that's what you want to do. Why not? Ooh, more power to you if that's what you want to do. Look at me go. Holy crap.
You're on a
Mm,
roll with that today.
I am on a roll, and I haven't had my coffee yet, guys. I'm pleased with myself. I
I'm
sure am.
very impressed. Very impressed.
Patting myself on the back right now. Yeah, so what I love about it is because I we use it all the time, to be clear. So you can do furniture assembly. I love assembling furniture. I just lost the passion for it. And so nowadays, I just don't feel like assembling my own furniture because, and not because, it's just because there's no time. Like I have a million and one other things to do. We're both pretty busy people. And so if you have like all of these Amazon boxes with items that are yet to be assembled, and you're like, how the heck am I going to get this done? Use TaskRabbit. And you can check out the different taskers. They have ratings on there, which I think is really amazing. So the taskers do have a rating, and you can rate someone after they've done the job for you. And the other really awesome thing, which I love, 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 is that you can see their hourly rates. And I feel like that is so awesome. So there's
Oh my
no
God, yeah.
like gotchas. There's not like they get, oh my, speaking of, this is another nightmare story, and we'll talk about this another time. This could be a Chaps My Hide episode about the nightmare experience that we had with some service providers. So I'll leave that for another time because that just reminded me of this. That's how triggering it was. So knowing the rate up front is so crucial and important. So there's no bait and switch, which I really, really like. And right up front, depending on how many hours, it calculates for you how much it's going to charge you. Obviously, if it takes more time than that, it will charge more at the end. But up front, if okay, I know I need them for at least 4 hours, you write that down and you know exactly how much you're going to be paying.
Yes.
So I love that. And then you can like once you've locked in the tasker you want to use, you can message them and get more information and go back and forth because we've done that as well. We've used them to move really heavy items. It's just the sky's the limit when it comes to blue collar work is what I would call it, or labor type of work. And it's really handy. So if you're trying to get your start, it's a great way to do it. They will also feature you if you're like a new tasker, if this is like going to be one of your first jobs, they'll say that like new to the platform, but you can build your way up. So I definitely would recommend as an option, especially if you're really interested in scaling your business without necessarily having to do a website, or really go through the motions of creating an online presence, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. I have to
Yeah,
have like my husband look into that too, because he's really good at a lot of stuff
yeah, we were that
and
I
to get
think
on there. Yeah.
you had mentioned that. I think it's something we planned to talk about that was tied to hubby. I think it was around this that you had mentioned, but I'm forgetting the conversation as per usual.
No, I just thinking it was just like he's like a survivalist and everything, and he was asked to be like a
Yeah.
field guide. So like, it's something that he loves on the side that he could do. Like his friend started his own business taking people we live by the lake. He takes clients out on fishing trips and everything. So,
Ooh.
like things like that too. It's like you could channel this into something that you love and get paid for it.
And you, oh my goodness, Sam, you just tapped into something that I had come across recently. I'm going to save that for another stuff you can use episode, but you brought back to my head something that I came across that I thought was a really cool way to earn some money that was not necessarily just like a traditional 9 to 5. And you're alluding to it, talking about the field guide stuff that hubby's doing. So stay tuned, guys.
Ooh, I'm even
Yeah.
intrigued.
Yeah. Intriguing to even myself.
I love
Uh,
it.
yeah. So check out TaskRabbit, taskrabbit.com. We are not affiliated. They are not sponsoring this episode, but they could. Hey, TaskRabbit, how you doing?
Yeah, we'd like to help. Yeah.
Feel free to give us a buzz if you get my
Yep.
drift.
Or hop on over. Ha ha. Sorry. Wait.
Yes, I
But I'm bummed.
love
There we go.
that. Perhaps you could get lucky. Mhm.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one too. And that's what she said. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's a double
nice.
whammy right there.
Nice. Yeah, I think that would be a really lovely situation. So yeah, let us know. You know, hop to it.
Yes, please. Yeah. That's even better.
So yeah, we're done with the puns, guys. So there we go. You know,
We're so punny. Haha. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, now we're done.
no
Done.
bunny come for us.
Yeah. Okay, now we're done. No, never. We'll never be done. I mean,
We're
who are
yeah.
we kidding?
Please don't paw at us.
Oh, that was a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna try to
I'm
stop
actually
myself.
laughing, but my team's just being awkward.
Teams, cut it out.
Yeah, I know.
Stop interfering. Jesus. Like,
I
come
know.
on.
So rude. So rude. Oh, should I do my burns? Burn. Oh my God. Burn my biscuits?
You should. Mm-hmm.
Or okay.
Burn Your Biscuits
So this
episode
really burns
brought
my
by
biscuits.
Sam. This no wait,
Yes.
this Burn Your Biscuits segment is brought to you by Sam. Mhm.
And I love it. And I promise this is pretty quick. That's what she said. One thing I've run into is getting attitude from clients if you need to change your hours. If,
Ooh.
like, say you have a set time, but something happens that you can't control and you need to update your hours, and the client isn't very understanding. You can't help it, but the thing is that you offer to work around it, and it's still, get attitude, but nothing's due in the time that you're going to be out. So, you can flex around it, but just, stand strong is basically what I'm saying. And also too, if you run into it a lot with the same client, I think it's time to end the relationship. If I think it's very selfish on their part,
Mm-hmm.
like they're acting like they're inconvenienced, but yet you have a family emergency or an unexpected doctor's appointment or something with your kids that, it's stuff that you can't control or change. So if you constantly get grief, it's time to like end and move on. It's not worth the mental stress or the stress of you trying to figure out an alternate flexible schedule for that, for
Yeah,
that day to make up the time.
definitely not. And I think it's unfortunate. And this actually ties in your BYB segment, Vibe Burns Your Biscuits. It ties in really nicely with what we were talking about earlier about nightmare clients. So it's sucks where you feel that have to, you're like almost dreading having to have conversations around scheduling or things like that. You never want to feel that way because you're supposed to be in the driver's seat as a freelancer. So if you're getting to the point where you're feeling like it's your day job, I mean, we all know the day jobs are different.
Oh yeah.
So the rules are different, and so at your day job, you have to do some conformity, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, go along to get along type of thing. You shouldn't have that feeling as a freelancer because you're in the driver's seat. You set the terms. Sure, you come to an agreement in terms of your rate of pay, but freelancing is way more at will than a day job, and it's more at will on
Yep.
the freelancer side, not the client side. And so if you're feeling like you're going around eggshells or you're worried about, oh my goodness, I have to change something, I have to modify something, yeah, it's time to reassess. Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It's not worth the mental impact. Definitely not.
It really isn't. Yeah. And speaking of, I just thought of just an idea. If you guys have a similar story, let us know in the comments. Tell us your nightmare from your job from hell or your freelance client from hell. You don't have to say names. You can protect the innocent. We actually recommend against it.
Yes.
But
You just do.
yeah, just tell us about your
Yes.
story
You
or
just do
just,
like company X.
yeah, exactly. Or let us know how you handled your nightmare client. Maybe you had one of your own. How did you handle it? Are you still
Ooh,
with
I
them?
like that. Because we
Mm,
could take pointers, we'll learn from you, vice
yeah,
versa. So works
there you
both ways.
go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let us know in the comments if you've ever had a similar experience and how did you handle it itself. And if you haven't, then lucky you. Yeah.
Yeah. You tell us your secret. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know your secret sauce as to how you pull that off in this day and age, because I think we're all kind of frayed at the edges, especially lately.
Yep.
And yeah, it's been a weird kind of time. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
like
say.
a weird atmosphere, I think,
It's very, I
if
don't know,
that
I
makes
keep
sense.
thinking about that documentary that I watched, which I'm forgetting the name of it, but I think the main like cult leader was called Mother. And
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
I remember that they
Oh
were
my God.
interviewing one of the people and he was talking about how things were going. And he said something to the effect of like, things felt very fucky.
Oh, I
I
like that.
thought, huh, you know
That is
what?
perfect.
Yes, and I think it was something like he was like, "There's something fucky in the atmosphere," and I was like, you know what? He's right.
That fits.
Hmm. And so that's how I feel lately. I feel that yes, it's a new year, but something fucky's afoot.
Yes,
That's the
I'm not
best
a
way to
fan yet.
describe it. So I'm gonna go with
It's,
it.
12 days in to the month. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I want a refund.
Every
Yeah,
I want to
I dem-
return this
I demand
gift. Yeah.
a refund. I demand a return
Yes. Yes,
immediately.
please.
So
Yep.
yeah, it's been an odd start to the year in a lot of different ways. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with, and I hope that this is a sign of better to come. It's hard to feel that way on the heels of all of the crap that's happening in the world and all of the
Oh yeah.
devastation, and so it's hard to feel like things will get better. But we can hope. We're not all we're not Debbie Downers here, but sometimes you
Nope.
feel like a
We're happy to help
disturbance
with
in the
whatever we
force.
can.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But
That's the perfect. I think that's perfect, actually.
right, I think that's like what fucky really means. I just like
I
saying that word.
agree. I know. I'm like, we're gonna get a shirt that says that now.
But essentially, it's a disturbance in the force. And if you've never watched Star Trek or Star Wars, not Star Trek, Jesus, you've never watched Star Wars,
At
what are
first,
you
I was like,
doing?
wait, what?
Yeah. What are you doing with your life? No, I'm kidding. But no, you should watch Star Wars. It's like one of the most epic franchises. And sometimes you feel like there's a disturbance in the force. And I feel that that's what the time that we're in right now, that's what it feels like. There's a disturbance in the
Yeah, it
force. I think
definitely does.
Yoda
That's a
would
really
agree with me. Mhm.
But we're all in it together though, so we're here.
Yeah, we are. We're still here to regale you with our interpretive chair dances.
Yes. One
And
day we'll share that live for you, but that'll be a long time.
perhaps, perhaps we will do it at the venue if all goes well, Sam.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so we've got some exciting things to hopefully share very soon in the works. I think we can definitely say that if we do end up where we believe we will be, we will do an interpretive chair dance. Hmm. Yeah, we both will. I'm putting it out
At
there, Sam.
regular, at certain intervals, maybe at like hourly intervals.
Just randomly, and then you guys can come and like, oh my goodness, they're doing their chair dance again. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Please
I
stop.
think
It's right.
you'll come back to tell us to stop. Yeah, so I
Please
think
stop.
that will definitely be worthy of multiple chair dances. I agree. And a lots of like hand waving, like flailing arm man, inflatable flailing arm man. We'll just
Yep.
go
And
really
also,
slow.
random klutziness too, because that's just us.
Exactly. So yeah, that's our episode for today, guys. Not a lot of I don't know what I was gonna say just now. I had a thought just like none of what I was
I
gonna
think
say
we
made
did pretty
sense.
damn good for, on the fly,
Yeah, we
you
did.
know,
So shelve
definitely.
episode 12 down your mental gullet. I feel like
Exactly.
prepositionally that didn't work. I understand that. I know if you're an editor listening right now, you're like, what in the world? What in the grammatical hell is happening right now? I get it. It just for the sake of the alliteration and also the rhyming, just let us live and let us have this.
Yeah, just let us just go with it. Let us have this moment.
So, yes, shelve episode 12 down your mental
Yes.
gullet. Because
Yeah.
it's a good episode. That's or up your mental gullet. I feel like that's inappropriate.
Hmm. Yeah.
In your mental
Either or
gullet.
works.
In that's the
In,
preposition I
yeah,
was looking
up
for.
might be offensive, but no, I'm just kidding. Like we're being like, up yours, but yeah, I like the
Shelve episode 12 in your mental gullet.
exactly
Hmm.
perfect.
There you go. Yeah, and we understand that's not how shelving
Perfection.
works. Don't come for us. We get it.
But just
We
give us this moment. Just give it. Just let us roll with it.
thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Thank
Now,
you.
but seriously, thank you. We've covered a lot today. We're really grateful for you guys. We're super excited that we are at 344. I don't know why it made me
That's
think of the
amazing.
4400. So maybe it's the 4-4 thing. And that made me think
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
of that sci-fi series on USA Network way
Oh
back.
my God, I used to watch that. It was
Right?
pretty good.
So
Yeah.
it was pretty darn good. And a lot of you may not know that is where Mahershala Ali, I'm probably completely butchering his name, but that is where he got his start. That was, do you remember? Like he was,
Oh,
that
I
was
didn't
who
know
he,
that.
maybe it's not his first like on screen appearance, but I know he was on the show. So yeah, and he was really good. So yeah, let me know, guys. Set me straight if I'm wrong, and I probably am. It did he or did he
I doubt
not get
it.
his start on the 4400, Mahershala Ali? Am I saying that right? I don't think I am.
I
Please
have
forgive
no.
me.
I'm so bad with that. Yeah. I don't
I will
know.
try to figure. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a phonetic spelling real quick. Now I feel like my rep is on the line. No, it isn't. But I feel like I should know how to spell that or pronounce it, not spell it. I think that's just asking too much of me to try to like on the spot know how to spell his name
And you didn't
on
even have your
top of
coffee.
pronouncing
Yeah.
it correctly. Exactly, and I haven't even had my coffee. So I'm not seeing a phonetic spelling, but I think it's pretty close. Mahershala Ali. And let me know if I am mistaken, guys. He is one tall drink of water. Anyway, hey, I can admire
I
the menu. Just since my there's yes, this is another fun old fogey saying. Just because my stomach is full doesn't mean I can't look at the menu. There you go. I had to say it in
yeah.
old fogey style.
I love it.
So yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think it was pretty close. Mahershala Ali. That's actually fun to say. So yes, I believe I could be wrong, but I think he got a start. Oh, look, I just found out because I'm looking at his Wikipedia page. He actually got his start on Crossing Jordan.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, he was on there from 2001 to 2002. And then he was on Threat Matrix 2003 to 2004. Never heard of it, but now I'm intrigued. But yeah, oh, but you know what? That's what it was. His breakthrough role was the 4400. So, boom, there you go. Because that's when I really knew about him. So, there you go, guys. That was his breakthrough role in the 4400 from 2004 to 2007. Boom. Yeah.
mm,
So, there you go. Sometimes you get fun
you,
trivia from us, completely unsolicited. Hmm. Yeah.
yeah. And you're welcome.
You are so welcome, guys. Yeah, so there you go. And we went down a fun rabbit hole. That was actually really interesting to learn. So there you
Yeah,
go.
actually, yeah.
Thank you, 344 and counting. We know there'll
Thank
be
you
more.
so much, everybody.
344,
Yes, and we'll
here's to
see you. Well,
more.
yeah, yeah. And there'll be more next week. Yes.
Yes, yes, there will be. So thank you so
So,
much, guys, for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe all of our episodes. They help us keep going. They help us build momentum. So just go ahead and hit that like button. Don't be shy. Do it. Do
yes. Just go bing,
it.
bing, little,
Yeah, just go
or boop.
like crazy.
Actually,
Just go all the way down and just click like. Because you know what? What's there not to like about us? We're adorbs.
yes, we are.
Okay? We just are. I mean, you see our
We like to
caricature.
think so. Yes.
We look exactly like that in real life, guys.
Yes,
I guess
actually.
we're just walking
It's
caricatures.
pretty close. Pretty close, actually.
So I'm just saying, yeah, go ahead and just hit that like button, share with someone, subscribe. Don't be, you've come back several times. Just go ahead
Yep.
and
And
make it official.
keep joining us. It's like a book club.
Yeah, exactly. Like don't be a tease. Go ahead and subscribe,
Yes.
right?
Be
Let's make
one
it
of us.
official. Yes.
Be one of
Let's not
us.
make it let's not say this is complicated. Let's be like in a relationship.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yes. It's complicated.
Come on,
Oh
guys,
my
you
God, I
remember
remember
that.
that.
You remember that.
Oh
It was
my
like
God,
the
yeah.
most epic relationship status ever. Kudos to, was it Facebook that did it?
Is that
Yeah.
Facebook? Yeah, it's
I feel
Facebook.
like it was. So yeah,
Yeah, I think
let's
you're
not be
right. Yep.
complicated. There's nothing complicated
Nope.
about our relationship. Let's
Nope.
just let's go all in. Like I'm willing.
Yep. And we don't even have to get married. We could just live together.
I
So,
know. Like communally. Isn't that like the dream?
yes.
No strings.
Oh
We're
God,
just
yeah.
hanging out, living our best life, laughing and having a
Mm-hmm.
great time.
Exactly.
That's all
Life
we
is too
got,
short
guys.
not to laugh and have a good time and meet new
Exactly.
people and yeah, new
Agreed.
experiences and everything. So we hope, together that all happens with us and with you.
Yeah, absolutely. We like you guys and we like ourselves. That's why
Yes.
we're here. Yeah.
Yep.
So you should come along for the ride. We're having a great time. Yeah. All part of
Mm-hmm.
our world domination plan, as we said. But
Yes.
you can world
We're getting
dominate
there
with us. We can share.
step
We
by
can share the
step.
stage.
And also, our world domination is kind of prompted by, I don't know if you guys remember this, Pinky and the Brain from
Oh my,
Animaniacs.
please get out of my head. Like I literally was thinking about how to couch that as you're sitting there exactly saying what was in my head. That's
Yeah,
why I love you.
we love Pinky and the Brain and Ren. Well, you like Ren and Stimpy too, right?
Yeah, like we're the most adorable version of Ren and Stimpy. This is what Ren and Stimpy would have looked like if we had had our way.
Yes, and I'm Stimpy, I think.
Yeah, but we are definitely Pinky and the Brain as well. That is where that comes from. But we definitely will not hypnotize you unless you're hypnotized by our amazingness. We won't stop that.
Yes. No. No, we encourage
So
that.
yeah, and but also unlike Pinky and the Brain, this is 100% voluntary. You know,
Yes.
because
Yep.
it's an adorable world domination plan. It's not just world
And you all
domination, but
keep us
adorable.
going. So, yep.
You
Yep.
do.
And we'll keep going as long as, you help us keep going. So, yeah.
Exactly.
And
I'm excited to see where we will be by the end of this year, actually. I don't know why. I'm just excited. I feel like there's so many cool things afoot for us that we're going to bring to you guys and that we're working on that
yes, we
I'm
have a
really,
lot.
really excited to see
Yeah, thanks to
where
Brain
we'll
over
be.
there. There's a lot of cool things in the work.
I did another rhyme. I'm excited to see where we will be.
Oh my
Yes.
God. We just should write all these down and have shirts.
Whew. Half damn.
Yep.
Like, guys, we're here all day,
All
virtually
right,
speaking.
everybody.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Thank
yeah,
you
and we'll see you
again.
next. Well,
This was the longest thank you that I think we've done, but I
yeah.
like it.
Yep.
We started with a thank
I
you,
do
and
too.
then midway, we ended up with a random trivia fact, which was also quite delightful, actually. And I
Yeah.
felt like I was half right with the whole 4,400 thing.
I was
So,
impressed.
yeah.
Also for our fans, so we're huge Netflix and Hulu and
Oh my
series. We're
God.
always watching stuff too as a brain break. So yeah, so sometimes we sometimes will make random recommendations. Like,
Pinky, you just gave me the most phenomenal idea. We're gonna have to talk about this offline. I'm excited.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll reconvene. Mhm.
Okay. Looking forward to that.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This is going
Well,
to be delightful. Hmm. All right, guys.
okay,
So
so
that's
we
all we
can
got for
roll the
now.
credits and here we go.
We're gonna play ourselves off. I don't have a good
I was just gonna do that. Okay. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.